Ois Zayin. V'hine Yadua. Behold, it is known. Shahamisiras nefesh bepoil al Torah mitzvahs shel kol Yisrael. When was there literally self-sacrifice for Torah mitzvahs for all the Yidden? Hoyso bepurim. That was in Purim in Bizman Gzeres Haman, the time of Gzeres Haman. The Rebbe is going to make a difference. The situation, what took place in the time of Haman, was even more difficult than what took place in the time of the Ness of Hanukkah, which it was mostly on Matisyahu and his children, but over here it encompassed Kol HaYehudim. And that's where the expression of Moshe Rabbeinu, the Pashtusa de Moshe, is specifically quoted from the Gemara that Mordechai B'doirei is K'Moshe B'doirei, because that level of intensity of literal Mesiras Nefesh took place in the times of Mordechai. He was the Ispashtusa. And the Rebbe says this tells us about the Friedeke Rebbe by telling us about Haman, about the situation with Haman, in which it was Mamish Mesiras Nefesh, that Mordechai stood up against him, tells us also about the Friedeke Rebbe standing up against the modern Hamans of those days, the Bolsheviks, the government who was causing all kinds of trouble for Yiddishkeit. So the Rebbe says the Mesiras Nefesh bepoil al Torah mitzvah shel kol Yisrael hoyse bepurim bizman gzeres Haman. Sham Mesiras Nefesh de Chanukah. The sacrifice that took place in Hanukkah Bisman Gzeres Yovon in the time of the Greek decree, Hoyso bi Ikra be Matisyahu Bonov. That was mainly in Matisyahu and his son. It did not encompass all Yidden. B'Mesiras Nefesh Bisman Gzeres Haman Hoyso b'Chol Yisrael. But the Mesiras Nefesh, the self-sacrifice during the period of the decree of Haman, was in all Yidden. So based on this, we can explain what the Maimer brings down from the Medrash, Mordechai hoyashokul bedoiroi k'Moshe bedoiroi, specifically that Mordechai was equal during his generation to Moshe in his generation. The point is here, Dagam sheis pashtuso de Moshe b'chol doir. Although Moshe's expansion is in every generation, B'kol mokom isa b'medrash, but yet in the Medrash, it specifically talks about Mordechai. Mordechai davke hoye shokul b'doirei k'Moshe b'doirei. That it was davke Mordechai who was equal in his generation to Moshe in his generation. V'yesh loymar, so we can say shemahamayl is the Mordechai HaYehudi. What of the advantages of Mordechai, the Jew Mordechai, who was Shahu Hoya Haraya Mehemne Begilui shall call Yisrael Shebedore. He was openly the shepherd, the faithful shepherd of all Yidden in his generation, and he fed them Emunah. Bedugmas Moshe Raya Mehemne, similar to Moshe, who is the Raya Mehemne that feeds Shehimshich Das L'Kol Yisrael Shebedoirei, who extended the level of Mehemne, the level of Das, to all Yidden, give them the Emunah through Das. כמובן גם מזה שדוירו של מוישה, the whole generation, kol anshe der nikro der a der of das. So that means that that Moshe was mamshich to them, the das wasn't to any specific group, but to all of the Yid. Now, but we said before, Moshe did not have to contend with Mesiras Nefesh B'Poyel as it was in the generation of Mordechai. That's why over there was only a Sasher Heichelu Lasis that they started to do. Kimu Vikiblu. It was that. So Eloshe b'Moshe hoya gilu zeh. By Moshe, this revelation, this idea, Shurai Mehemne D'Chol Yisrael, that he was the faithful shepherd, or that he shepherds Emunah to all Yidden, Al Yidei Shim Shech Das L'Chol Anshe Doire. That is through giving them the level of Das to all the people of his generation. Ube Mordechai hoya gilu inyan zeh, and by Mordechai, this idea was revealed al yidei shegila koyach hamesiras nefesh b'chol anshe ador, by revealing the power of self-sacrifice, the sacrifice in the whole generation, but it was all the whole generation. B'yashloimar, we can say al yidei shemevi b'hamaimer mashakosu b'medrash. So through the fact that the Friedrich Rebbe brings down in the Maimer that which it says Medrash, Mordechai b'doiroi hoya shokul k'Moshe b'doiroi, that Mordechai in his generation was equal to Moshe in his generation. Al yidei zeh posach bal haMaimer esadin al atzmei. Through this, the Bal HaMaimer, the Friedrich Rebbe, who gave this saying, he ruled it about himself that way by saying it about Mordechai. Shehu haraya mehemne begilui shel kol anshe hador, that he is openly the one that feeds Emunah to the entire generation. So now the Rebbe is going to sum up. So what's the hemshech of the Maimer? It's the way it comes out, and the Rebbe is going to remain with the question. It comes out that how is it accomplished through Moshe Rabbeinu? Everything that Moshe connects them because he brings down the level of Das, but that's not yet completely through Moshe Rabbeinu. We need the Ispastusa, the Moshe, to bring it down to the level of Kosis Lamoir. And the Rebbe is going to ask, how does this fit that it says V'yichu Eilecha? Why is it taket to Moshe? It seems almost that it's accomplished not through Moshe himself. It's accomplished through the Ispashtus of the Moshe. Let's look inside. Ches, v'alpizeh yesh levayer kesher v'seider ha'inyonim b'hamaimer b'biur ha'posik v'ata tetzaveh. So based on this, we can explain the connection and the order in the Maimer, explaining the posik v'ata tetzaveh. As we discussed earlier, it seems the Kosis Lamoyer is explained later on. In the middle, we talk about the Spashtus of the Moshe. So the Rebbe explains now. So the Rebbe is like, first, he brings down the interpretation that what means the Ata Tetzaveh B'nai Yisrael, Shemoshe hu mekasher hu mechaber es B'nai Yisrael made in Sof, that it is Moshe who ties and connects the B'nai Yisrael with the Ein Sof. Al Yidei, through Shehu Zon hu mefarnes es Emunah, he feeds and he supports the Emunah. Well, and then afterwards he explains that it's not only Ato Tetzaveh, it's not only Moshe, that also the faithful shepherds in any generation, which are Ispashtus of the Moshe, the expansion of Moshe, they too, Mechazkim Nesamunah de Yisrael, they support the Emunah of the Yidden, U'kamoy Mordechai, similar to Mordechai, which was Moshe Shebedoyre, the Moshe in his generation. Shachizek es amonosom shel Yisrael, he strengthened the belief of the Yidden, lamed chazok b'limud haTorah v'kiyum hamitzvos, to stay strong in the study of Torah and the observance of mitzvahs. And then, so the Ata Tetzaveh, and then there's a Hemshech through the Ispashtus of the Moshe. And then Mevayir HaPirush B'Kosis Lamoir, meaning Kosis Lamoir, Shebeposing V'Ata Tetzaveh Shebedaber L'Chayre B'Moshe Atzmei. The Kosis Lamoir is in the Posing Ata Tetzaveh. We're going back now to talk about the Posing which speaks about Moshe himself, because Ato Tetzaveh, the Posik Hamshech is Kosis Lamoyer. So he explains that Take Moshe accomplishes the Kosis Lamoyer not by himself, but that is accomplished through his Pashtus of the Moshe. Moshe Megale Bechinas Hamoyer de Yisrael. That he reveals the level of the luminary, the level of Mesiras Nefesh of the Yidden, which is the Etzem HaNeshama, who be'iker al yidei ispashtus delay. That takes place through his expansion. Shebizman HaGolus, which is the time of Golus in which the Yidden are kosis, they're crushed. Sha'ayru Yisrael. So these leaders, this is Pashtusa of Moshe, they encouraged, they woke the Yidden up to Koyach HaMesiras Nefesh, the power of Mesiras Nefesh. Sha'al Yidei Zeh Hu Gilu Iker Gilu Etzem HaNeshama Moir. That is the main revelation of the essence of the Neshama, the Moir. So basically, it's accomplished through the Ispashtusa, that level of Kosis Lamoir. So, according to this explanation, that the Kosis is mainly accomplished through the Ispashtusa. So, inyan the Kosis Lamoir, Shaykh Levato Tetzaveh as Bnei Yisrael. How does it connect to you? Connect to Bnei Yisrael. That Moshe and his expansion, that in any generation, that they tie and they connect the Yidden with the Ein Sof. But kosis lamoer behemshech, in the posik kosis lamoer is written in continuation. That they bring to you Shem and Zayis Zoch, and then that is Kosis Lamoyer. So what is the inyan v'yikcho elecha gomer? What does it mean they bring to you? She Yisrael meviim Shem and Moshe. That means that the Yidden actually bring the Shemen to Moshe. That means that the Yidden are adding to Moshe. Hu she Yisrael meisifim toisves oir b'Moshe. That the Yidden bring additional light to Moshe. So, and here we're saying that the Ato Tetzaveh, that is the connection, that they connect the Yidden to the Ein Sof. And here it's the Yidden giving Moshe that brings the Shem and Zayis of Kosis Lamoyer. So it seems that comes from what the Yidden are giving to Moshe. And here we're saying the Ispashtus of Moshe brings about the Kosis Lamoyer through his Ispashtus. Oistas. Rebbe is going to point out now that there are two times. There's times at the actual miracle itself when the Mesiras Nefesh, and then there is the time after the Mesiras Nefesh. V'hinei hakosuv v'kibel haYehudim eisar asher chelu lasis. The pasuk that says that the Yidden accepted that what they began to do, medaber bepashtus, it's talking simply b'hazman shela'acharei hanes Purim. It's talking about the time that followed after the miracle of Purim. Yesh leimar, so therefore we can say the mashakosu ba'maimer, the pirush v'kibel es v'kibel haYehudim eis asher echelu lasis, and we touched over there that the Yidden accepted that what they begin to do. Shabimei Achashverosh kiblu masher echelu b'matan Torah. That in the days of Achashverosh they accepted that which they begin matan Torah. Ugam lifi pashtus hakosuv. This also can fit in the simple meaning of the pasuk. Shavikibel goimer hoya la'acharei haneis, that it was after the miracle already. In other words, after the Mesiras Nefesh. And then, therefore, since based on this, that it's also talking about after the time, that in the days of Achashverosh, they accepted that which they began on Matan Torah. There is Shnei Inyonim, there's two aspects here. HaKabbalah shehoisa bizman hagezeda al yidei hamesiras nefesh lahem. The acceptance that was during the time of the actual decree through the actual Mesiras Nefesh, kimefurish b'hamaimer, as articulated clearly in the Maimer. And then there's another aspect, v'hakabola shehoisa la'acharei haneis the Purim, and the acceptance that took place after the miracle of the Purim. Shehi nailis yoiser gam mahakabola bisman hagizeda kidel. That is even a higher level than accepting the Gezeda. The Rebbe is machadesh over here a new aspect in the Kabbalah, that in addition to the Kabbalah of the time of the decree, which required Mesiras Nefesh, there is also a Kabbalah that followed that Mesiras Nefesh. Yesh loimar can say shal derech zeh hu benegeya kosis lamoyer. Same thing is with regards to kosis lamoyer. There's also two steps over here, two shlavim. One is kosis, the actual time of Mesiras Nefesh, and then there is a time which follows the Mesiras Nefesh. Shal yidei ha'inyan the kosis shebizman hagolus magin lamoyer. Through the idea that we're crushed in the time of Golus, that we reach to the Moir, to the Etzem Haneshama, the Shnei in Yonim Bozeh. There is two aspects in this. Israel nimtzoim b'matzav shel kosis, when Yidden are found in a situation that they're crushed, mitzad zeh sheyeshnom gzeiros al kiyum haTorah mitzvos, because there is decrees on observing the Torah mitzvos. It was in the time of saying in the Maimer. And the Rebbe wants to bring out that nowadays, even when we're not crushed in that, there's the Kabbalah that comes afterwards. So there is first is when we're crushed, literally when there's Gzeiros against observing Torah mitzvahs. And that's where you reach to the Moed Mesiras Nefesh. But there is additional. There's a further idea in Kosis Lamoed. Even when Yidden find themselves in a situation, it's comfortable. We're wide. It's a comfortable situation. You're comfortable physically and also comfortable spiritually. There's harchava, there is a wide, there's a Elo shehem nimtzoyim begolus, but we're still in golus. So this was the situation, was after the Kabbalah, after the Mesiras Nefesh, that wasn't Purim. The Purim. Similar to the condition that was after the miracle of Purim, The pasuk says the Yidden had light choice. Simply, literally, it was all this, and also spiritually, Mila, Simcha, all the Torah, all the as the Rosh Chazal. You say to him is and even more than this, Shagam base Haman Nitin Esther. Also, the Haman was given to Esther. It was there. They had the advance of his Hapcho. Elo Shakate Abdi Achashverosh and we're still servants of Achashverosh. So it seems like, what do we have to complain? How are we meduka then? How are we pressed? Yes, we're pressed. They're still broken. And they're pressed because kosis, they're crushed. So the fact that they're in Golus. Through the kosis that the Yidden are in Golus Magim, we reach to the level of the Moer.